Do. Do. Alrighty. Alrighty, I believe that's all functioning now. Perfect. Oh, for anyone who ends up, you know, having a bit of a look back on this, I'm doing my next video on Shadowbringers versus Shadowlands, and because I just finished the MSQ for Final Fantasy, I thought if I'm gonna talk about the topic, I should probably give Shadowlands a proper go. And instantly... Who do I need to talk to? Okay, this chick. The fact that she says Death Knight and not Dreadlord, considering I brought her back from the dead, sort of wigs me out a bit. Which is actually one thing that I really hate about WoW in hindsight, is that your character's history really isn't respected. Like, you spent all of Legion becoming the Death Lord. That should be a point of interest. But I think one of the interesting things I discovered in sort of doing research for the next video is that any new player would have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like, you know, they buy a 50 boost, and what's happening? Who are these people? Because you're really not forced to do any of the story beforehand, and World of Warcraft isn't really in the cultural zeitgeist anymore. Not everyone knows what the deal is. Man, I remember actually seeing this scene and... Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, grey men do nothing. No bodyguards. It's... Like, what a way to start. I almost want us to take this in the way of, well, it's all brand new. Because I suppose the game treats me like it is all brand new. Because originally I was going to do Shadowbringers versus Shadowlands and just go, here's the consensus on Shadowlands, that's all I'm going to go with. But instead, you know, I'll be professional, check it out myself, and because I'm streaming, I'll be able to look at this own footage back, which will be excellent. But so many of the issues that everyone brings up is, it's like, well, yeah, no, it's true. Oh, you actually jump off? Oh, wow. There is no repercussions for doing so. Let's do it again. Why not? Old mate's going to be pretty bloody slow walking, so... Oh, what's he gonna say? Here's the thing. Like, I don't have to listen to what's going on here. It's frankly for her minions. Sky, you see the results of actions. It's you. Like, just like, even Death Lord at the end of here. That'd be nice. Oh. Like, this is such a convocation of, you know, important and relevant people. But if you didn't know WoW lore beforehand, like, this is... Who are these people? Why is there a Panda Death Knight? I probably should turn the volume up a little bit. Man, did I really just have Stockholm Syndrome with WoW? Like, I quit early BFA, but... This is such basic animation. Exciting gameplay. Like, what an introduction to a thing. Because normally I play Classic. And I'm a big fan of Classic. But this... Oh, what piece of it? Oh, it's all the way up there. Where am I going? Oh, over there. That's weird, because there was a beam before that showed me where I was heading to, but... they're... Oh, you can be a furry Death Knight then. Because actually, I checked out the new Death Knight starting zone. You just rock up to the Lich King, say A, and he goes, alright, yep, you're my champion. Go, bugger off. Like, see, here's that second beam. Like, where was that in the last one? Everyone's just so impotent. And why does everyone get sucked in and we don't? Like... Oh, the more I play, and I've been barely playing for, what? Let's look at the stream. 8 minutes, and this is hopeless in comparison to Final Fantasy. Because of course I'm going to compare it to that. Like, I spent 20 days going through the entire story of Final Fantasy, doing all the bits of side bits, raids and whatnot. So come back to this, and it's like, I vaguely know what's going on because I've been keeping a tab on it, but if I hadn't, like, what in God's name? Let's see. This was peace. Like, where are you going? Oh, is he? He's with me now. Okay then. Do we just need to... I suppose here's another thing. Like, I've instantly gone back into the conditioning of WoW, where it's just like, okay, go click on the bad men. Like, that's all you need to do. Did she just get... Oh, she just got instantly rallied. Cool. So, I reckon another reason I'm decided to stream this as well is that just get practice streaming, because it's an art to sort of talk into the void in a way. Especially when there isn't sort of an audience, because like once you're established and have plenty of people watching you, you can sort of banter about a bit. Where were the... There were 3 here. Where were the... Okay. Might have gotten someone coming through and snaking them. I'll shoot someone. Alrighty, so the 3 introductory quests to the entire expansion are kill bad men, click on good people, and kill a particularly bad man. That's thrilling and unique. It's... Okay, so one of the 3 there just got massacred. So I should... They weren't there before. Like... Okay, I just had to click one. Can I mount? Oh. Wow. I think a big thing about the Final Fantasy story is a lot of it is just the story. Like, you don't really have a lot of these sections where you're just walking. You can almost sort of teleport from place to place. When there is combat, it's pretty like combat. There's not much sort of downtime in a way, which hello to the one person that it says is watching. Finally decided to actually give this a red hot go, considering I've been, talking trash. Oh. Should be able to put my money where my mouth is in a way. So I'll consider this more of an investment in future content. I'll give them credit though. This is quite a... It's nice looking. At least in comparison to like what a lot of WoW is. This is going to be nice at the moment. I think, honestly, the biggest difference is just that personability. There's such a big part of the world in Final Fantasy. Here, it's like, we come, just... There's nothing specific. Oh, alright, that line was pretty good. I'll give whoever wrote that some credit. Ambivalent Studio. Why are they just level 55? It's just rocking around. I mean, Jaina is absurdly powerful. But they haven't actually said her name yet. It's just, you know, Lord Admiral. It's like, cool, who's that? Oh, now I can click on her. Like, surely you must have by now seen me and gone, oh, it's the person who's killed literally everyone in existence. Thank God. And if these guys are kidnapped, like, where? Something actually flying? Yeah. There was stuff in the air.
You cannot escape your fate.
Wait, yep, cool, sure. Just kill more dudes. Oh. If I had a dime for every time someone said something similar. I mean, cool effect. Okay, but it's really weird seeing Death Knight Snake. Very, very strange. I assume we're killing it. Yeah, we are killing these guys. I think one of the interesting, a difference I'm sort of getting the vibe of at the moment is this seems so much slower than Final Fantasy in terms of the story level. Like, this really has that sort of walking slower than you can run or walk. It's very odd coming back after playing Final Fantasy. It's getting absolutely spoiled, and then just sort of playing one-handed at the moment. It's very particular. I'm keen to sort of see where it goes, if it continues this way or what the pacing's like, because I know you go through, I think are there 4 covenants? The Night Elf one, Ardenweald, the vampires, like Evil Valhalla, and what was the last one? Oh, just the Paladin guys. Duh. Oh yeah, I've had a... Oh yep, alright, cool. All of the Ebon Blade guys weren't dead after all. We just needed to, bring them up. call 000 and say, hey, we need some support here. I honestly don't know what much to say. Like, streaming this is almost very boring because it's like, well, why would you guard there? Like, if you want to guard the gate, you would want to guard up here.
Should be safe enough here for the moment.
Oh, thank God the convenient repair person's around.
Or if you were just another illusion meant to torment us. I was beginning to lose hope that I'd see anyone from our world again.
Wait, haven't they only been gone for like 2 seconds? Like, why? Oh, unless time flows differently here, which I mean it could.
Control your power. Or
Oh,
it will control you. The Alliance will endure. Very well. Where to begin? Denizens call this realm the Maw. From what I have gathered, it was intended as a prison for the most foul, irredeemable souls that ever existed.
Something has changed.
Well, that's not conspicuous.
Noble souls are being held captive as well. They cry out.
It's actually quite interesting. In Final Fantasy, most of the story elements are instanced, so
And ours,
you don't really
Sylvanas,
see them. Whereas in WoW, like if you're running around publicly, like
powerful ally.
this is
The shades whisper of someone
oh, it might.
the jailer.
But normally they have sort of a stand-in person for like a major lore character. Like that'll be Thrall, that'll be Jaina, and that'll be. I don't know if we save and I actually no. Of course we don't save Anduin. I've been keeping up with it. So that'll be it. I've got no clue who that'll be. Oh yeah, story. It's just it's just not engaging. Like they just sort of talk at you. And if you're not there for it, then it's
But it's clear he has taken a special interest in us.
sort of sucks you dry.
Personally, also seen our treatment here.
We have endured countless torments. At times, it felt as if we were being tested. Though for what purpose, I cannot say.
Whatever this jailer and the Banshee are planning, it won't end well for any of us. Be careful who you trust. I caught glimpses of Bane and Anduin during my attempts to break free. They live. That's all I know for certain.
Very convenient that they can just summon holographic illusions.
I can only manage to teleport short distances. This nightmare feels inescapable.
That was nice. That's a pretty cool skill.
I can scarcely imagine the horrors such spirits have endured. I fear there's nothing left of them to save. They manifest as malevolent shades that wander the darkness. I doubt they'd willingly help us.
Malice Shadow. I mean, there's ones just all around you. Just grab one.
I will do what I can. We all have our costs.
To command. No, that's right. No fun allowed. Because of course I'm doing this as a Death Knight, one of the slower classes. What guild was it? Actually, that's a good last online. Oh, there's a 15 days in there somewhere. Oh. Yeah, years, months. It really is just sort of sad. How weak do they have to be then? What?
Use the helm while it's weakened.
Ah. I don't know. Fuck this guy up while I'm here. I don't know if that's like he drops the quest or he is the quest. Like, what's the deal? Either way, go shanking. I'm glad they sort of kept that little face. Okay. Suppose we do that next. No, I'm down here. Oh, there's one up there. Oh, he goes instantly to... Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's not great being down here. Bloody hell, I just noticed as well, the numbers are tiny. 800 crit, wow. Like, I know I'm playing a tank spec, but... What? I'm already almost halfway to level 51. Like, what? What do you mean I can't do it while moving? Surely. Alright, let's see.
The souls are too fragmented. There must be another way. This target poses a considerable threat.
Okay.
Blade for assistance once we engage it.
What do you... I'm trying to get... I need to get back in the habit of actually reading the quest text, but it's just... Oh... After having it nicely narrated to you and sort of chatting with different characters, this is kind of trash to go back to. Oh yeah, beard. Let me at least read while I'm beard. Cool. Well, at least you get to see him actually run, but... Oh. The more I play this, the more I realise this game needs just such a fundamental rework. Like, bring on WoW 2. For the love of God, bring on WoW 2. This is... Oh, this is just a... No, it's not. No, there's no more roleplay on that one. Right, cool, sure.
I know what must be done.
Let's see.
Control your power, or it control you. Once we find Anduin, my staff will serve as an anchor for me to teleport us back to safety. All set. Let's get moving.
That's pretty cool. Why are we bringing Thrall if he's that injured? That's an absurd decision. Or Jada without his stuff? Like, oh, I suppose you don't really need magic to cast. You don't need your staff to cast magic. But, ugh. I have no interest in killing dudes I can't mount. Oh, can I do this? Yep. Hacks. Engineering is objectively the best profession, by the way. Nah, don't care. You can shove off. Let's do again. 20 extra damage. Nah. Denied. Let's see. Oh, is it around here?
This is the Tramaculum. Here, souls are tormented, twisted into wretched shades.
Last I saw it, they were taking him to the tower above. We need to find a way up there. Here.
I've never felt less threatened in my life. If I'm honest. Like, I might not do a ton of damage, but I'm just unkillable. Oh wow, thanks Jana, you are helping. Ethereal meat. I'm glad they sort of started introducing extra little tidbits like traps and stuff. Like, this is a pretty cool idea. Definitely shakes things up just a little bit in comparison to the not having that.
Hold here.
Let me just go. Man. Like, I'm one of the most powerful people in World of Warcraft history. Let me go fight her.
Such a narrow vision.
Because of course she's just gonna bugger off, because she's been buggering off halfway,
No matter.
well not halfway, but pretty much for the entirety of BFA.
In another.
Oh, no, she didn't take him. Okay. I thought it was entirely possible for him. He would just get teleported away and go, haha. I'm going to mustache twiddle how evil I am, not here.
We must find a way to free him.
If you broke out of your chains, then...
Well met.
Just cause is always worth fighting for.
let's see. Very cool models. That I can't... Oh, do I need... Let's see. Do I have to absolutely grind... Does this work? Oh, it does. What? What's the point of having some cool traps if you just walk... Well, that's absurd. Okay, the afflict is all the way up there. Wouldn't want to make it, too difficult to wear where anything is. Oh man, yawning. Not great for streaming, but like, it really just isn't that interesting. Ah, yes, summon the fairies. I'm just sort of thinking, like, what have I done in my time back? It's just, every quest has just been kill bad guys. Which, don't get me wrong, kill bad guys is a perfectly legitimate quest format, but for the start of an expansion, you sort of want to spice things up just a little bit. That's why I really liked Wrath. There's sort of some culminations to things. Oh, I unlocked it. Cool.
On the other side of the chasm, our allies will protect you there.
Surely there must be some cool characters coming up ahead, because we can't be the first people to come out. Where did he get an orcish axe in the middle of hell? That I'd love to know. Cool, he's got one. So I think there's still plenty of souls behind this bloke. No. You see, Kieran to a mage, Frostwolf warrior. They're all Jaina. You can't have multiple sets of the same people existing for some reason. Maybe they think it'll affect people's... Oh, pardon me. Yeah, it'll affect their immersion in the game. It's like, well... You've done nothing to immerse them in the first place. I think that's the big thing, is your character doesn't feel like an individual, so you're not... You connect to the world through your character, and if your character's persona non grata,
Forces are positioned nearby. They will defend you.
yeah, if you're persona non grata, you don't have a frame of reference for your world, or the world that you're trying to engage with. At least I'll be able to level quickly as a Blood Death Knight, considering everything's just kill an X amount of people. I can just pull everything in a bloody zone and kill them all at the same time. Unkillable. Oh, that's right, it's group loot. I'm so used to classics. Classics single loot. It's a pretty good, like, I definitely can't knock it as a thing of convenience. Oh. There's just nothing that would tie me here in comparison to a Final Fantasy. But I'm glad that I can actually sit down and play it. So in future videos when I'm talking about WoW and making any sort of comparisons, I'm not kind of just talking out of my ass. I actually want to be able to make appropriate discussions or informed discussions. Because there's definitely a propensity for people to just sort of go, oh yeah, heard it's trash, and then move on with their life. And in a way you could sort of get away with it for WoW because you can see all the cutscenes because they pretty much instantly go online.
Before the guards return.
Missed opportunity. Make me have to figure out this intense trap. Oh, there were actually mobs up here. Yeah, they must have been dead when I rocked up. Cool enemy models, at least. Give him credit where credit's due on that one. Ah, we do save him. Okay, so he gets kidnapped again?
I feared I would never be free of those shackles.
We should move quickly. Are you fit to travel? My ability to teleport is limited here. But I should be able to open a portal back to my stack's location.
Lead on.
They were just talking over each other. Like, how do you get that wrong?
Let me tend them.
Thank you, Anduin. It'll feel good to be back.
Alright, what do you...
Speak. How do we leave this place?
Sealed long ago.
So there is a way out. Tell us where to find it. Waystone. At the cauldron.
It is really just all exposition and not dialogue.
Could you make sense of what it said?
No, it's mighty convenient.
It seems our course is clear.
At this point, I'm definitely going to... I want to get to max, at least.
But we have no idea how to find her. We will do our best, but this waystone may be our only means.
Yeah, get plenty of video, and I think I'll do a lot more streaming in future because it's...
Has to be a way back in.
all those streams actually then exist on YouTube, and you know YouTube can hold that video file footage that I can take the snippets I need for whatever future videos I'm doing. Helps with the algorithm as well. Yeah. Huh.
Wretched. I heard you were soundly beaten by a force of wretched champions, witch. You will pay for that insult.
Like, canonically, I'd have been one of those wretched champions. Like, and if you weren't here for it, or any of the previous stuff, like the fact that you're free. Oh, just one of them talking about a loon.
On the precipice above.
The truth lies ahead, Shayla.
Let's see, how dramatic is this?
I find your spirit.
weakened.
No,
Never seen
we just
anything like it.
I believe I have.
rocked up over here. Okay.
From you.
See.
No talk. Let honor guide your path.
Wait, didn't you just have an axe? Oh yes, you just threw it.
A crossbow. I prefer to strike my enemies face to face. I suppose it's got hefty to it. Let's see what else we can find.
It's kind of interesting that he sort of takes whatever weapon. Like that's all right.
I've never been one for staves, but at least it won't break in a melee. Let's keep looking. A serviceable weapon, though I've never understood why the Alliance seems so fixated on swords. Too much blade, not enough. Pass.
I don't see why blade is a problem. If I'm frankly honest with you, Mr. Thrall. Even then, the BFA cinematic was all Allied spears and guns. Which really brings me to the fact I have no clue why the World of Warcraft universe hasn't industrialized with the gnomes backing it. Like, I understand Nomagan is buggered, but you'd really think they would have been invested into heavily to industrialize the Alliance at that point. You know, the Burning Legion could get killed by swords and whatnot. I'm sure a machine gun would do absolute wonders.
Too long a handle. Better than nothing, I suppose. Let's take one more look.
So needy, Thrall. Jesus.
At last, a proper warrior's weapon. If the jailer comes, he will take my steel.
I'm sure the jailer is pissing himself at the thought of fighting a very wounded Thrall who really could not make up his mind. Knows how to use one weapon. Now he spec'd into axes in vanilla and then just refuses to change.
Together, we are strong.
And it, like, in the back of my head, I want to make a conscious effort to read what's going on, but just can't. See guards. Bad man up there. Cool. Soul renders. And apologies if you're listening back on this one. Like I sort of said, actually having just the vocal capacity to talk for ages is going to be a hard one to develop. Been talking for only I've been intermittently talking for about 50 minutes and my voice box is already like which isn't great when, you know, I want to play D&D later. There we go.
The dagger. Bane's blood still stains its blade. Together, we are strong.
How's that optional? It's surely the with a blade placed is what summons the bad man. Surely. What a weak looking blow.
This curse is tearing his soul apart. You must defeat it quickly.
Well, at least there was a mechanic on that guy. Decaying touch. Oh. One thing to interrupt. This is an intense enemy. Oh, thank God Bane's coming too. I was worried for a second. Absolutely stressed out.
My end had come. It almost did, were it not for this champion. You have my eternal gratitude.
This champion, I've been doing so much shit for you guys. I've saved so many fucking issues, and nah.
Lead the way. We seek a waystone located beyond the cauldron. Have you seen it? I spotted an obelisk of ancient stone upon the high ridge.
See if I can just avoid fighting anyone.
The jailer's forces
I really just, I have an aversion for fighting anyone unnecessarily.
jailer's forces seem endless. There is no way we can fight through them all.
Well, that's nice. I imagine we are doing a stealth.
Hide
Yep,
us from their sight.
stealth section.
My spell will get us past most of his guards, but there will likely be some who can see through it. Stay close. We can't afford to draw their attention. Careful. These eyes can see through
Let's see. Is it just me or is it? Oh, they just dodged it themselves.
The jailer's army rivals that of the Legion. And it's growing.
How would you know that the jailer's army rivals that of the Legion? Like, you've been only here, you know, ever so long.
Many souls pouring into the maw. The dead of Azeroth, Draenor, worlds beyond our imagination. All damned to this place.
To be forged into weapons for the jailer.
Yep, cool.
Despite all Sylvanas has done, I never thought she'd be part of something like this.
Sylvanas is dodgy. Of course she's going to be part of something like this. Are they coming? What is it?
Many souls pouring into the maw.
Oh, do I have to be near them?
Draenor, worlds beyond our imagination. All damned to this
Hold
place.
here.
Oh.
To be forged into weapons for the jailer. Despite all Sylvanas has done, I never thought she'd be part of something like this.
If you want me to go at your pace, go at mine.
Pouring into the maw. The dead of Azeroth, Draenor, worlds beyond our imagination.
Yeah, this dialogue's even better the second time you hear it.
To be forged into weapons for the jailer. Despite all
Did they get detected or I did? You know what? I frankly don't care. Nothing that has happened has made me care. And I know what's going on.
I can make us invisible again. Give me a moment.
If if this was my first experience to World of Warcraft, I'd have no idea what the hell was going on. Absolutely zero. In that case, I'd feel like I'd wasted my money.
That must be
I know what's going on, and I already feel like I've wasted money.
the jailer takes notice.
I'm actually playing more out of a professional not necessity, because I don't get paid, so I'm technically not a professional. But out of a completionist desire, because I do want to talk about WoW a lot. I'll get nice and close to the mic so you can hear the boredom.
To this champion.
Yeah, to this champion. Let's see. No, the first hints of the first ones, but
When the jailer realizes our plan, he'll send all his forces against us.
oh wow, we're gonna sit here and kill more things.
Long enough for the waystone to fully charge. Every second counts.
Even this is a long time player, who are the first ones? What an why would you introduce the first ones? An insane like, you know, the Titans were the original creators of the universe. You've made creators. At that point, it's a case of, oh, you know, we're gonna make the first ones next. It's ridiculous. And I do appreciate that they didn't actually sort of retcon the lore on this one. They sort of went back and went, oh, you know, here's where the jailer was influencing things, not straight up changing bits and pieces, but that on some levels is still just as annoying. Because there were no hints to it, you know. There were no crazy lore speculation channels going, oh, there might be this crazy force in the background that's even higher than the Titans. Oh, I know, there might have been, but I never saw one. And I was pretty in tune with the WoW community for a very, very long time. So I'm sure I would have seen some of those more insane theories. Especially when it comes to, like, say, the talkings of Il'gynoth or any of the old gods in previous expansions. You know, they're perfect time to drop a hint for the jailer or something like that, especially if they're, you know, screwing with Cygaris. Like, if he wanted to, he'd just...
Something's wrong. It seems the waystone has stopped charging.
The stone responds to you, champion. Try to activate it while we hold off the jailer's army.
Nothing escapes the law. Yield to the inevitable.
They've stopped their advance. The light is with me, even here. Go, champion! Go!
I mean, if you were going to do that before, you would have just done it at the start. I don't know why you gave the chance for all the champions to
Failed.
escape. He's clearly all powerful. We're in his house. If he wanted to chain everyone, he would have just snapped his fingers earlier. And while I appreciate Anduin's dramatics and the light shield is always a really cool thing to bring down, it does feel somewhat contrived. So where do we head now? I think we head to Oribos from what I've seen. It's kind of interesting to look at Shadowlands in a lore perspective, or just the experience of it. A lot of the experience has already been spoiled because everyone assumes that it's not a game to warn people about spoilers. Final Fantasy, like if you want to talk about that game and you want to talk about it in any serious capacity, you have to give a spoiler warning. Whereas in this one, it's kind of like, oh well, there's exposition there, but oh, we can go on mounts again. Fantastic. It's exposition, not dialogue. So who is this? Where am I? Have I escaped them all? Ah, 2 people. Welcome, hello. I'm giving streaming a proper go and actually having what I'm doing sort of in the YouTube servers and not my own. Well, I have a server, but you know, my hard drive. Ah, Adriana. No, not a whole lot. I'm doing some research work for the next video because I decided I wanted to do that story lore versus world lore aesthetic again. So I decided to do it in comparison to Shadowlands versus Shadowbringers. As a part of that, I was like, oh, you know, I should probably actually play Shadowlands because if I'm going to talk trash, I should probably, you know what I'm doing. Plus, if I am actually... I mean, you're the one who gets all the spoilers in the first place. I'm spoiling the spoiler. Especially... because I think I need to really just keep framing stuff in Final Fantasy terms. Because... I think the video I posted on Saturday has 120 something views. The one I did on Paradox 2 weeks ago has like 20. Just having that Final Fantasy tint to it, so 6 times more in 6 times less the time. So clearly, you know, gotta give what the people want. But to do that, I may as well be a bit better on it, and plus it's good practice to actually stream because, like we've sort of talked about, it's very difficult to just sort of talk into the void. And to do it for a long period of time, even my voice right now is getting hoarse. We've got D&D later. So it might have to be a bit quieter for that one. Oh. But how have you been? What's been happening on your side of things? Oh yeah. No, I've recently got back into cycling as well, so it's got to keep up with it.
Every attendant in Oribus is taught that
Oh, very nice. Will you? Is there like a Halloween event going on that you know of, or you think you're just going to do some damn fine photo shoots? Show off what you're working on.
Purpose be praised. At long last, the Arbiter has stirred. One speak.
Honored voice. Mere moments ago, there was a disturbance at the boundary of the moor. Then this mortal appeared, claiming to have broken free of it.
Oh, very nice. That'd be really cool. It's good that you can actually go out and do things at the moment. I'm stuck with the double vax rule because I don't get my second dose until next Friday. I don't think. Yeah, next Friday. Which, that was such a dodge decision as well. Don't know what they were thinking of giving people less freedoms than before on Freedom Day, but say la vie. Well, my grandmother's down actually at the moment, and they're all going for dinner tonight, which I can't go for because no double vax. It does mean I can make D&D on the silver lining side of things, but what can you do?
I pray the Arbiter will awaken in her presence, mortal.
Otherwise, you would have been double vaxxed pretty quickly. Oh yeah, I'm. I should actually pay somewhat attention to it. D&D is fantastic, but I'm sure you can sort of tell just how I'm sort of vaguely talking about what I'm actually playing. I'm not going to be too kind, but I'm going to be not kind but informed.
Ever silent, ever still. When you arrived in Hogwarts, I saw the Arbiter's
Oh.
for the first time.
Because man, if you were just coming into this game, you're boosted to 50,
That she would awaken
no idea what the fuck's going on.
to her blessed powers.
I barely know what's going on. Like, this is all. They just throw you into Death World. Oh, no.
For uncounted
I think there's a boss. I think there's a boss here, like one of the later raids.
infinite
Right.
afterlives,
I have no idea why in the
the
sort of
as
what are they called? The subtitles, obviously. Duh. They have like hashtag enchanted music at the front.
mortal soul came before
Yeah, if you're deaf and you need to read subtitles, you probably don't know what enchanting music is to begin with. It's sort of rubbing it in their face.
experienced all that had shaped a soul in life. With this knowledge, she consigned
But,
every
Man, it's really
afterlife it justly
it's so different after finally finishing the main story of Final Fantasy and coming back to this. In Final Fantasy, there's a lot of dialogue and you're really involved. Like, it's like, oh, hey, Valgard, you know, give us a hand here.
In that dread moment,
Yeah.
our perfect order was shattered. And so it is that every soul, kind and cruel alike, is denied its rightful afterlife. And
They're very good at just giving a
is damned to the inescapable
lore dump, and they're just trying to.
of the maw.
I think it'd be fine if they just wanted to say, here's the premise, go kill the bad guys, but they want to try and make it more serious. And they want to use old characters that people have, you either have an attachment to from ages ago, in which case, you know, why are you bringing them back? Or two, they don't know who they are, and any of the emotional story beats they're trying to hit don't hit. I've been playing this for an hour, and it's like, oh well, neat.
Every soul has its place.
Let's see.
We all have a part to play.
Cause.
Blessed be her voice.
Fix the. Wait, what? We're really just going from cutscene to cutscene at the moment. So this is the Helm of Domination. This was what Arthas was wearing, but it was broke by Sylvanas. And that's the new Lich King. Oh, I can just rock up now. Cool. Because there's a big ritual to summon us in here.
Outsiders, what have you done, mortal?
Be at ease. I am Bolvar Fordragon. These knights and I are here to help.
The touch of the maw is upon their souls as well. But if they found a way to break free of its influence, perhaps they can end us.
Not even the NPCs know what's really going on.
We all have our burdens to bear.
You seek to
Oh, I need to talk to this person. You can clearly tell I'm paying tons of attention. Do I follow them? Because they're the ones talking. But then there's the...
I suggest establishing your portals where you first arrived, just outside the city.
Oh,
As you wish. Champion, please confirm.
they really go big on calling you
Open the portals.
champion in the actual sort of audio. Do they? Oh, so maybe I was meant to follow them because, like, yeah, you saw the marker before. So is it? Yeah, I'll go with Cool Dragon. Oh yeah, no, I was meant to follow him. What a weird quest text.
I have opened countless portals in my lifetime, but never one that connected two planes of reality.
I thought death was the end of existence. Here, it seems, death is a power that offers new beginnings.
What? This guy's a Death Knight. He died and came back. What do you mean I thought death was the end of existence? You came back from death. What? I'm very confused. I was spoiled. I was absolutely spoiled playing Final Fantasy because all of the story elements really interconnect and you get referenced a lot. Like even in Shadowbringers, I chose the start where I landed in this like pirate city called Laminsa, and the head there. Darkness does await, but it's more darkness of I have to play Shadowlands, not darkness of this is an evil person. But yeah, in Shadowbringers, it was like, I'm going to reference the fact that you just got brought, you came in and were helped by the Admiral early on in your days. Whereas in this, they don't even accept, the undead guy thinks death is the end. Despite death clearly not being the end. It's a bit interesting. Oh, fun tour. Bro's not of Oribos.
Please keep our corridors tidy.
No, it's not a guided tour. All right, I just run around. Chat to people. It is inconsistent writing, and that's really the feeling I'm getting from this is that they're really just making stuff up because there's no basis for a lot of it. Like they really just made so much stuff up and was like, we're just going to recontextualize events from before to shoehorn it in. Like I don't remember when you joined, but you sort of could see the jailer who's big evil, has a bunch of chains and stuff. And apparently he was the one who was manipulating like all of the titans and all the original created gods in the first place. And it's like, okay, so we've been dealing with these big powerful created gods for years now. WoW released in 2014. Yeah, the jailer. WoW released in 2004, sorry. And we've been funking around for ages in this game, and then suddenly they pull the idea of, but it was actually this mysterious man we never dropped any hints to that was the bad man all along. It's like, what? That's That's weird. I think what's weirder is they have what's called the first ones now. And before you had the Titans, which, you know, the Titans, the creator gods, and we thought, oh, you know, they're the creators. But no, they were first ones who created the Titans. So it's been a bit of a meme. It's like, in the next expansion, there'll be the firster ones. How the hell did he die?
How may I serve?
Spirits have become untethered.
Keep to the path.
Like, I'm definitely glad that I'm sitting down and actually giving it a go. Because it's not that long of a process to actually play through. Like, I'm already a 10th of the way through leveling, and it's been about an hour, and I've been pretty lazy getting through it. So it's only going to take me 10 odd hours at max to get through the story. Like, because I don't think I want to renown grind, because I think there's an entirely separate leveling system to get a lot of the story. Though I think by then I'll have figured out enough to give a proper review of how they tell the story. Or at least that's the hope. Might try and gear up enough to try the first raid in Raid Finder, which obviously, you know, isn't the most intense, or it isn't an intense raid experience, but just trying it for the story. But man, talk for long enough. Absolutely kills your throat. Surely the throat must be like a muscle like any other that you can buff up in a way. Not that I'm ever suggesting anyone, you know, go out and absolutely flex their throats. But surely that must be something you can sort of condition. Wait, legendary stuff? What? Oh, 5 minutes, right. Oh no, they're there. I'll be back in 1 sec. And back. Although I may have to head off and actually make myself dinner before D&D, because obviously food good. Although I reckon I will probably stream the rest of this experience, mainly because then practice is good. Thank you. It is medically advised. And also probably prep something for BJ as well. But the other interesting thing is because the streams instantly go to like an unlisted YouTube sort of like I've published a video kind of thing. It stays there, so I could just sort of go back and get snippets at requirement without having to, you know, actually record all of that and have it on my own computer. So I think, yeah, we go through all 3 of those zones. Or 4. I can count.
See it done, Kasher. With her voice have I spoken.
Cool. I reckon I'll teleport to Bastion. That seems to be our first port of call, and then I think I'll call it there. Oh, it really is handy. I should probably have used it a lot more for playing Final Fantasy, because there's so much in there that I'll probably want to use as video for the next video. Especially all of the cutscenes with some of the major characters in Shadowbringers. Because obviously Shadowbringers versus Shadowlands, a lot of it's going to be in Shadowbringers. So 2020 hindsight, should have recorded a bit more, but say la vie. I'm sure it's on YouTube, just sort of a bit more big spoiler warnings on it.
Fate guides us all. We have precious little anima to spare, but the honored voice has blessed your mission. So we
Like, they really don't explain what Adama is. Is it? Where is it?
call down one of the soul conduits for use as a gateway to Bastion. These paths
I think it's... Okay, no. All that stuff is under me. It's not the actual objective is under me.
unexpected.
They really kind of just talk at you while they very slowly move on. Cheers. This is fun and exciting gameplay.
The Arbiter sees all truths.
Zippity zap. I know. This is absolutely riveting gameplay. Absolutely intense. Oh, the portal is open. To a place we've just heard about 2 minutes ago. On a very strange worm. So wait, we went through it. Okay, does it open this stream? Oh, okay, I reckon that powers this. And this is the real portal. Which, I mean, pretty cool warp animation. I'll give him some credit where credit's due. The in-between. I mean, how many worlds do you want to sort of bring up at once? Are all of those portals to this world, or are they just vibing?
By the Archon.
Oh, unconscious. That's a new little tag there. That's pretty cool. I'll give him, you know, I have to give him some credit somewhere. But yep, I reckon I'll call it there, and I'll definitely stream the rest of this. But it definitely hasn't given me any hopes that's going to be different from any of my previous WoW experiences. Or at least modern WoW experiences, like post probably Mr. Pandaria? So that's the fourth expansion, because you have Vanilla, TBC, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, then it was Mists. Yes. I'm trying, but there's a lot of WoW, and they haven't shaken up the formula, and they're getting to the point where the sunk cost fallacy isn't really holding them anymore in comparison to modern games. But with that, yep, I definitely will call it. Thank you for actually popping in, as always. I really do appreciate your support of both the YouTube and the streaming side of things. That and all the positive comments I've been getting on the videos has been immensely nice. Good push to actually keep it up. But with that, I'm going to do dinner, and yeah, D&D will be good. We didn't get a session in last week, so I'm keen to get it in this one. Oh, Patrice, yeah, no, there will definitely be some Final Fantasy 14 streams. I wish I'd actually recorded a lot of them beforehand, because then I'd have had it on YouTube to use for future videos. But thank you for dropping by as well. Definitely made my morning seeing your comment at the very start, because clearly big fan of big fan of FF. But yep, it's dinner time for me, so I'll catch you guys later.